You're welcome to Passive Income and Life Hack Hubs. Thank you for joining this live stream. Today we are making Smoky Jollof or Ninja Jollof rice. Ingredients: bell peppers, tomatoes, your long cap peppers or sweet red peppers. We've got red onions, 2 bulbs, and we've got 1 Scotch bonnet because it gets a little bit hot. So I prefer to use 1 and maybe add some hot powder or hot chili if I don't feel it is hot enough for me. So you want to be careful and go easy on the Scotch bonnet. They are very hot, forget their tiny size. Now we have goat meat. This time around, I'm using goat meat with the bones in. And the next ingredients we're going to be looking at is our nutmeg. I'm going to be using a little bit of nutmeg, and I'm going to be using some smoked paprika because we're making smoky jollof rice. Now I've got my garlic granules and I've got my medium curry powder. This will be used for seasoning the meat and also for making the stew base. Now I've got my dry thyme and curry powder. I love lion, but I couldn't find lion curry, so I bought Ducros. Now I've got my all-purpose seasoning. This is optional, so if you have your stock cube or your salt, you're fine to do without this. And I also love my mixed herbs. So this is oregano, a little bit of parsley, and some rosemary. Now this is my vegetable oil. I'm going to be using this to make the stew base. So let's get started. Get a clean pan and put your goat meat in the pan. So I like to use goat meat for my smoky jollof because of the unique flavor it adds to it. So I got this from an African store, and the first thing I'm going to be adding is my salt. So I'm going to be adding less than half a teaspoon of salt. So I'll be adding as I go. Now I've got my seasoning cubes and I've added 2 of them into it. I'm using no cubes. Now I'm using curry powder as well, Ducros curry powder. And I'll be adding some of that into my meat. So at this point, my gas, the burner was refusing to come on, and it was just driving me crazy. Yay! So it came up at last, and my goat meat is on. So I'm adding some curry powder. So just half the cup. So in Africa, we barely measure. So we just keep adding until our ancestors tell us to stop. So I added, let's say half a teaspoon of curry powder into my goat meat. Remember, I added half tablespoon of salt, and I have added 2 seasoning cubes into it. Now I'll go in with some thyme. Remember, the secret to a sweet jollof rice is good stew base and also good meat stock. So you want your meat stock to be quality. Now I'm also going to add a little bit of medium curry powder into my goat meat. Remember, I used Ducros earlier. That was a normal one. So this is medium curry powder. Just a little bit of all of them, just to bring out those unique flavors. Now I'm putting in some garlic granules. Just a little again. So guys, I'm adding just a little of everything. Now that's my garlic granules going in. And I stirred it in a bit. So I'm adding all-purpose seasoning. So this is also optional. I'm adding very little if you notice. I don't like putting too much. I like a little bit of everything, but just a little bit. So that's my mixed herbs going in now. That's one of my favorite ones as well. You're welcome to Passive Income and Life Hacks Hub. If you're just joining me for the first time, this is Blessing Ame of Passive Income and Life Hacks Hub. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please remember to subscribe, turn on your notification, like our videos, and share. Thank you so much. Now I'm adding some onions to the goat meat. I'm going to be chopping up some red onions now. Remember, onions also helps you to enhance the flavor. So that's me chopping up my onions. This is one of the least favorite things I like to do in the kitchen. I don't like chopping onions. Now that's my onions ready. I've chopped it finely and it's going straight into the pot of goat meat. So I'm just going to cook my goat meat for approximately 35 to 40 minutes, depending on the tenderness when I check on it later. So this is medium heat. You don't want high heat so you don't have to keep adding water over and over and your meat is going to be tough. So I'm doing it on medium heat. We've added my ingredients. Remember, we added salt, stock cubes. We added a little bit of nutmeg, like a pinch. We added half a teaspoon of garlic granules. So this is me getting ready to start with my pepper. So I'm cleaning as I go. Because most times when I'm making jollof rice, if I don't clean as I go, I get frustrated at the end of the cooking. So I have cut open my peppers and I've washed them thoroughly. I've de-seeded them. So even if they look clean from the shop or from the store, guys, you want to clean them. Sometimes you could find a little bit of sand or some worms hiding in them. Growing up, my mom used to, I think from the age of 6 or 7, I was always watching her in the kitchen. And my mom used to wash and wash and wash her vegetables. And I was wondering, why is this woman always washing this thing? It looks clean. But with age and with experience, I started to learn on my own that no matter how clean something looks, you need to clean it yourself to be sure. So I've cleaned it and I've de-seeded them. So I'm going to be roasting them in the oven because I want to dehydrate them. But I also want to bring out some natural flavors. So just stick around and see what we're going to do to this. So remember, we're making smoky Nigerian jollof rice. So we want to be building the smoky flavors from scratch. We don't want to be buying smoky flavor in a shop and pouring in food. I've seen people do this and it's shocking to me. Smoky flavor, like smoke. They tell you, you can buy smoky jollof flavor. I like the natural, smoky flavor. And the first step is to get it is on your stew base. So you don't have to burn your rice to get smoky flavor. I know burning it a bit, having a crust is part of it, but I want to build it up from here. So for me personally, this is how I build up my own smoky flavor. I start from my stew base. So I've also opened my tomatoes and taken the seeds out. I don't want too much liquid in my pepper or tomatoes mix by the time I am done and ready to put them in the oven. So that's them all done, sitting pretty. And they're about to go into the oven, but not so fast. Before I put them in the oven, I'm going to be adding some stuff to them. So don't go away. Now I'm going to be adding some rosemary. I'm going to be adding some medium curry powder. I'm going to be adding smoked paprika to this pepper mix before it goes into the oven. Now I'm adding some medium curry powder, just little sprinkles on them before they go into the oven. And this mix contains my bell pepper, my long pepper, my tomatoes, and my scotch bonnet. So I have added garlic granules and curry, and I'm just about to add my mixed herbs to it as well. Because they're going to be roasting in the oven, just imagine what it would smell like when they all roast together and begin to mingle. So that's me adding a little bit of all-purpose seasoning to my mix. And I'm going to tie them all together with some vegetable oil. Guys, just a few drops. So you want your tomatoes to roast, but at the same time, you want it to bake, and you want all these beautiful seasoning and herbs you've added. You want it to sit well and go well into your pepper mix. So I'm tying it all together with some vegetable oil so it can cook very fine and in a nice manner in the oven. So this is my secret to a nice, unique jollof rice. So if you notice, I'm a little bit stingy with the flavors. I don't like too much seasoning and too much flavor in my food. So if you notice, it's almost like a pinch of everything. I rather add more salt when I'm done than having too much salt. I wouldn't be able to eat it. So, without much waste of our time, that's them sitting pretty in the oven, ready to be baked and roasted. Now our goat meat has cooked for at least 45 minutes, and I am going to be frying them. So, you can decide to take one and try to see how soft it is. Like for me, I look at it and my ancestors whispered to me, they said, oh blessing, it's well done. And that's how I know it's done. So that's what it looks like, and that's the rich meat stock. All that meat stock is going into our jollof rice. So remember, the secret to good jollof rice is amazing meat stock and nice stew base. So time for tea break. I'm going to be making myself a cup of tea. I'm hungry. I've not had anything to eat this morning. And this smoky jollof rice is suddenly making me hungry. So I'll go for my favorite beverage, which is a cup of tea and, some drops of milk. Some people say a dash of milk. And 2 tablespoons of sugar. And enjoyment has started. So I'm going to drink my tea now and enjoy myself. This is how I like my tea, not too strong. Now tea over, I'm cleaning up to start the main thing. As far as I'm concerned, everything we've done for the past 1 hour has been meal prep. So meal prep takes 1 hour. So you can imagine. Now the goat meat is ready to be fried. So I'm going to be frying them now. Now frying the goat meat in the same oil you're going to make your rice with. Gives it more flavors, layers upon layers of flavors. So this is our goat meat sitting pretty, frying like 20 minutes. Then suddenly my light goes off, and I was wondering why is everywhere dark. So that's my goat meat. It's brown already, and you can imagine how delicious the oil smells right now. The oil smells so well. Did I just say oil smells? Anyways, oil smells. So remember to like, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So that's the meat cooking, and that's the goat meat still cooking. So I'm trying to do a voiceover right now, but I think I made the process too long. So now I'm looking for filling words for this voiceover. But I'll do my best to keep you guys entertained. I know my voice is groggy or croaky. I'm so sorry about that. Now that's my goat meat cooking, and I can't wait to try one of them. In fact, as at the time of doing this voiceover, I have eaten at least 4 or 5 of the goat meat, and it's stuck between my teeth. I have very bad teeth and food. I can't get them out. So that's me blending my pepper. Look at how beautiful it is. I didn't need to add much water before I started blending because it's soft and all dehydrated. And guys, this smells nice because there's a mix of herbs and other seasoning before it even went into the blender. So this is what my mix looks like. I'm going to be pouring it into my stew base. So this is how I'm going to start my stew base. Into a pan, add some vegetable oil. When hot, add some onions to it and heat, sweat or fry the onions, but don't let it get brown. So I'm going to be adding some tomato paste into this, and I'm going to be cooking the tomato paste for a while. So that's another angle I was cooking this morning because I'm going to feel like a photographer or videographer. So that's still our onions cooking. I wonder why it's this long. Now I'm adding some tomato paste. You can use Gino or Delica. So I'm adding some tomato paste to it. And I'm going to be cooking this tomato paste first because it's got this sour taste. You need to cook the tomato paste first before you go in with the other one you roasted. Remember, those ones are really cooked and they can't stand the heat as much as this one. So this one you're frying with a lot of vegetable oil to make sure the whole sour taste is gone and the whole weird tomato paste is gone. So that's it all bubbling and living its best life. Just dancing and bubbling, dancing and bubbling. Just how I want to be, wild and free. Look at that. So guys, that's what the tomato paste looks like. I've fried it now on its own for at least 5 minutes. Sorry, we Nigerians, we use the term fried. So that's what it looks like. I'm stirring and stirring. And I'm going in with some garlic granules. I'm adding a lot of stuff to this mix because I want my stew base to be awesome. So just a little bit of salt, if possible 2 pinches of salt. 2 little pinches of salt. We don't want salt to overpower the rice itself. Rice is the star of the show, not salt. So we're making a rice dish, not a salt dish. So you want to be careful with your salt and your hot pepper. So this is what I blended and I have added it into the tomato paste. And I'm going to let that cook for at least 15 to 20 minutes, guys. Don't be in a hurry. If you get these steps right, the rice itself would not even take more than 20 to 25 minutes to get cooked. So that's what our mix looks like. And I'm just going to let it cook for a while. Some mixed herbs to my mix. Let's see what's next. I've added some curry powder to my mix, some Ducros curry powder. I've added a pinch of nutmeg to my mix. Now I'm going to add mixed herbs to my mix as well. Just a little, guys. You don't want to put too much. You don't want to overwhelm the main star of the dish. Now I'm going to go in with my seasoning cubes. I love star cubes and I love Knorr cubes. That's me putting my cubes in my food. I love them. And I just added 2 cubes. Remember there was 2 cubes in the goat meat stock. I just added 2 cubes to this mix. And I'm going to be adding 2 cubes to the pot of rice when I've finished putting everything in one pot. So guys, you want to stir and stir so it doesn't get burnt underneath. I'm still stirring and stirring. At this point, my arm is getting a serious workout. Because I've been stirring things for the past 1 hour straight. So I can't feel the heat of the pepper enough, so I've added half into it. If it could just release a little bit of heat for me. Aberdeen is too cold, so we need the pepper to chase the heat away. So I'm adding some medium curry powder to my mix again. We want to get this stew base right. Now we are adding all-purpose seasoning. This is optional. This is why I've added only 2 cubes to this mix, and that is why I've added only 2 cubes to my goat meat, because I've been supplementing with a little bit of all-purpose seasoning. So remember, all-purpose seasoning also has a little bit of salt. So you don't want to add too much salt into your food if you're using all-purpose seasoning. And remember, your stock cubes contain salt as well, so you want to tone it down on the salt. Be careful. So I'm just going to leave this there to cook for a wee while. So while your tomato base is cooking on one side, you want to start looking at your rice. So into a clean pan, we've added some rice and a kettle of boiling water. Now we're going to stir and stir until we can get the starchy bits out. We are not looking at cooking this rice. We're just looking at just letting it boil a little. We'll keep stirring and stirring until it can release a lot of those starchy bits. We want the starch out because we don't want our rice to look stodgy, and we want the best taste to come out from our rice. Sometimes when it's too starchy, it takes over most of the taste. So into a clean pan again, my tomato mix. Now look, it's a little bit burnt. That's the smoky flavor started already. But I cannot cook it in that pot because it's already burnt. So I transferred it into a bigger pot for space. So this is the main cooking of the jollof rice. Everything we've been has been meal prep. Now I'm stirring everything. So in this mix, I've got tomatoes, peppers, onions, seasoning cubes, salt, vegetable oil. I've got mixed spice, I've got garlic granules, a little bit of nutmeg, medium curry powder, I've got thyme, and I've got a little bit of salt. So you need to be stirring over and over, if not, it's just going to get burnt. Now into the stew base, I'm adding my rice. So remember this rice, you just got the starchy bit out, then I ran it under cold water in the tap, and the whole starchy bit is gone. Now I'm adding my goat meat directly into my rice and the stew base, and I'm going to mix and mix and mix until it gets it uniformed all across the pot. So let's see what it's going to look like. Like I said, this involves some serious arm work. It's like I'm just working out my arm. I'm developing biceps right now. So still on the mixing, I'll just rest my hand for a bit and I'm going to continue my mixing. So you mix as much as you can. Mix as much as you can. And this is what to start looking like when you've mixed it properly. Turns red. It turns red. Look, or sort of red. So now this is how it's meant to be. I'm not going to be adding a lot of water to it. I'll cook as I go. If it needs more water, I'll add some water to it. But if it doesn't, that's alright. cooking the jollof rice on low heat for about 25 minutes, I added some chopped onions onto it for extra flavor and nice aroma. Now I'm going in with some butter. So the purpose or the reason why we're putting some butter in is so that our rice is not too dry. And we also want it to stand on its own as single grains. So don't want them sticky to each other. So the butter, the first thing it does, it enhances the taste. The second thing the butter does, it ties it all together for you. It gives it that uniformity you are looking for. And that's our butter in. We're going to cover and let it cook on the lowest heat right now. So I'm going to leave that butter to cook into it beautifully for another 5 minutes. So I'm just going to leave that there as I go about cleaning and tidying up so that I don't have a lot to do when I finish. And when I finish, I know I'm just coming to edit for my YouTube viewers. So thank you guys for joining my live stream. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please remember to subscribe, remember to turn on your notification, and remember to like and share. Thank you so much. So our butter is still melting in the pot, and I'm just going to fill it in with some... What do I fill it in with now? I was going to say, should I just speak about myself? But I don't think we've got enough time for that at the moment. But one thing is, I started cooking from the age of 11. My mom started to teach me from the age of 7 to 8. And now, guys, this is the butter melted into it beautifully well. And that's our onions looking all steamed and ready. Guys, look at that rice. Look at how amazing it looks. So it is almost ready. It is almost ready. So I'm still going to let it cook for another 5 minutes because it is not soft enough for me. I don't know why I feel that way about it. Oh, guys, and for the half Scotch bonnet, I added the pepper. It became too spicy and I regretted adding it to it. Anyways, this is what our rice looks like at the moment. And I'm thinking of what to pair my rice with. What should I do now? That's my rice, guys. It's almost ready. So I have decided to make myself some... What should I fry? I'm looking for an accompaniment. Okay, let's do plantain. So that's my plantain. Peeled it like a banana. And I'm going to chop it or slice it, if you like. And it's going straight into the oil. Is it oil or oil or oil? How is it pronounced, guys? The linguistic people. Okay, guys. So that's me doing I'm frying my plantain now. I'm going to be eating it. It's been a while I had rice for breakfast. I remember when I used to be in Nigeria, I used to fry rice for breakfast. So that's my plantain frying now. I'm going to leave you guys again to just enjoy it. I know it's too much. Just enjoy the plantain frying itself. Is looking so beautiful on one side. It is now golden on this side, so I'm turning that side over so they could also get this beautiful golden color. So I flipped them all about and they need just 3 to 4 minutes to cook because I've sliced them so tiny, so they cook faster or they cook quicker. So look at how beautiful those are. So plantains are just like giant bananas, but they are more starchy and they could be like they're eaten a lot across Nigeria. So they could be eaten as a meal on its own or as an accompaniment. And plantain is versatile. You could have plantain with rice, you could have it with beans, you could have plantain with potatoes, you could even make pancakes out of overripe potatoes. You could make some kind of pudding from plantain as well. So like moi moi can also be made from overripe plantain. There are so many things that I've been practicalizing. In fact, there's some videos I'm going to be shooting in the next couple of days. I came up with a new plantain dish and I can't even wait to share with you all. So plantain is one of my favorite things to eat. So if you're looking for where to buy this from, you could visit any African shop around you and ask for plantain. In fact, just go on Amazon and type, I want to buy plantain, and you will see plantain. So this is the plantain cooked for 5 minutes, no, I said 3 to 4 minutes, sorry, not 5. 3 to 4 minutes, and look at that, it's almost ready. I can't even wait to eat this rice. You guys don't know how hungry I am. Like, so this rice is for our friend Mikey, and it's also for my partner Don, and it's also for me. So Mikey, Don, this is for you. So I tried to play it in a fancy way, but it didn't work. Look at how ugly that looks. I was trying to serve it like a 5-star restaurant. Anyways, I tried again and I think I did well. So this is my end product and I have taken it upstairs. I'm just going to be eating this morning with a chilled can of Coke. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe, like and share.